Evening everybody, Silverbot here, back for another review. It was originally going to be a Perceptor review, however for some reason my webcam microphone was plugged into the wrong outlet. Well, not plugged into the wrong outlet, but the microphone was trying to pick up from the wrong outlet, not the webcam. Really strange. So the video recorded, and there was lots of me doing very silly faces to a Perceptor review, but there was no sound. So I don't know how many deaf people I have who watch my videos, but I don't imagine everyone's that good at lip reading. So I thought I'd do something else because I couldn't be bothered to go back and go all over Perceptor all over again. Never fear though, I will do a review of him at some point. I decided I was going to do something rather different. Not a Transformer, because, you know, I do other reviews other than Transformers. I know it's rare, but it does occasionally happen. And in the fact that I now have over 1,000 subscribers, I thought I would do one of the sexiest non-Transformer toy I own in my collection. And it's this. For those of you who don't recognise it, this is Guyver 1. Okay, now the Guyver series is a Japanese manga that became an anime. It was released originally in the 80s, and it was a very heavily edited version of the original comic, containing itself of only 12 episodes. I originally watched it when I was quite young. I was probably about 14 or 15 when I first saw my very first Guyver episode, and I loved it. And I've since got all the other ones. Basically, the Guyver tells the story of an alien bioweapon. Well, it becomes a bioweapon when it's attached to a human. Basically, it's a parasite, and it attaches to a human host. And in times of great need, or at command, because you can control the Guyver unit to some extent, it latches out and forms this suit of a living weapon, it's basically a living suit of armour. And it does all the things you'd expect an alien weapon to do. You know, makes you stronger, makes you faster, gives you huge guns in your chest and in your head, and these rather nifty vibration blades. There we go. And of course the giant arm cannon in your tits. No, the giant cannon in your tits, sorry, not your giant arm cannon. And it makes you completely indestructible. As long as that little silver bit that's just there survives, the Guyver cannot be killed. You can cut off his arm, you can cut off his leg, you can cut off his dick. No matter what you cut off, it all grows back, providing the silver thing called the control medal is there. Now, there's 3 Guyvers in the original cartoon. Guyver 1, which is this fellow, Sho Fukamachi. You have Guyver number 2, which becomes a baddie under the name of Liska. And then you have Guyver 3, which is Agito Mokushima, who's kind of your maverick. Good guy, but very sinister good guy. And Guyver 3 is cool. He's all black and he's got 2 of these kind of swords in his arms. Guyver 3 is just awesome. Guyver 3 also appears to be stronger and faster than Guyver 1, but it could just be that Agito knows how to use the suit better. For one thing, he teaches Guyver 1 that he can fly. The cartoon has its fair share of baddies in the form of the Zoalords, who govern a company called Cronus, who basically aliens came to Earth, did a lot of experiments on the planet, and eventually created humans. A creature that has extreme survivability and can adapt very well, and he's also highly intelligent. Though of course humans aren't very tough. You know, in fact, we're quite pansy when you think about it. So, of course, these aliens gave us another form. Kind of like an alternate form, if you like. Just to tie it in slightly with Transformers. Apart from the fact that it's me doing something extremely geeky. And they're called Zornoids. So you take every story of werewolves, wendigos, manitous, shapeshifters, werebears, were-rats, care bears, you know, whatever. Basically, that's actually a human that has become a Zornoid. There is a chromosome within us, according to the Guyver comics and the cartoons, a chromosome in us that, when triggered, turns us into these giant slavering mutant monsters that are all muscle and horns and biolaser. Well, no, the biolaser was something that Kronos introduced. You need to watch the cartoon to understand the concept of biolaser. Basically, it's a giant thing on the shoulder that's powered by the Zorlord itself. It's not actually an artificial construct, it's actually a bioweapon. And naturally enough, they don't like the Guyver very much, so they proceed to try and kill him. And the whole series goes on basically about coming that. And the first 12 episodes of the cartoon, sorry, I think there was a 12, yeah, there was, of the original cartoon, really kind of ended on a cliffhanger. There has been a re-release of the Guyver anime, and I think it's just starting to come out on DVD. I think it's only out on DVD in Australia at the moment. Of the second release of the Guyver, which is much more true to form to the original manga comic, so introduces a lot more. I mean, in the 1980s book, the female character is very annoying. She's very screamy, I'm all cute and innocent kind of job, who's had my entire world horrendously turned upside down. For some reason, the lead character is in love with this whiny little cow, but then he's a whiny little bitch himself, so it's not really much of a difference. He's very much your angst-ridden teen. If the Guyver was mainstream popular, emos would love him, because he's whiny, and he's miserable, and he's complaining, but he's also a kick-ass super killer. So there we go. They also have a guide in the form of Murakami. And I will say this as a straight man, but in the 80s cartoon, Murakami has a very sexy voice. Oh, he's got one of those voices that you're just like, wow, he's saying something important. Now, he could be asking what he wants in McDonald's, but it's like, wow, he's saying something very profound. He has one of those kind of voices. I did really like Murakami's voice in the old 80s one, but in the new one, his voice, he's still got that deep, powerful voice, but it's just not as good. He sounds a bit like Leonardo from the Turtles. That's in the American dubbing, not the Japanese dubbing, by the way, because I've only watched the American dubbing. Okay, now this toy is produced by a company called Max Factory, and I believe it comes under the name of BioShock or something like that, but I'm not sure, and I'll get to that when I tell you how I got the toy. And it's basically, and it works similar to the Revoltex in that all the articulation in the joints, it's done through a series of interlocking pins. I've just dropped the shoulder guard, which happens on this toy for some reason. And it's all, and instead of it just being rotating, actually this is actually a good thing because I can probably show you this. Instead of it just rotating like that, it actually moves back and forth on the joint, so it allows you to get a much greater degree of posability. It's not quite as sophisticated as the Revoltech designer, which I'll do a review of at some point as well, because I've got Prime and Megatron. So, and it comes as well with these interlock different components for the hands. So you can take the hand off here and have some here. Oh, I actually grabbed the right kind of hand as well. Oh no, I didn't. I grabbed the wrong kind of hand. And then you can add the hands like that. This one, I think, is from what I know is actually the limited release of it. So it actually comes with a Shofukamachi damaged head, and you can just see in there the skin from the face. This is what a Guyver unit looks like before it's attached itself to you. So you get a mini one of them. Kind of looks like a worm strapped up with plastic. It also has in the chest piece the massive tit weapon called the Mega Smasher. Looks like Zero's nipples from Mega Man X, but there we go. We'll have no puns about Zero's nipples. Zero is cool. I'm a huge Mega Man X fan. But anyway, and I'm on about Mega Man X, not the new Zero games where he's got some, I don't know what the hell he's got, but never mind. The original Mega Man X games with 0 in them. But anyway, this, as I said, is the Max Factory Bioshock, I believe it's called. Also, what it comes with is you take off these long vibro blades, because like any good superhero, he doesn't walk around with these giant blades sticking out of his elbows at all times. Oh, of course not. No. The vibro blades, which are high frequency blades, retract or shrink or fold in on themselves, or their weird coloured lightsabers, I don't know, in onto themselves. So you're left with those. The model is relatively poseable. These armour bits at the top here do, just on the top of the hips, do stop it from moving the leg out too far. But you can get some really funky poses with it, because it comes with this base with the clip on it. And the new emblem for the guyver's in the base. You can't really see that. But I do want to get that tattooed on me. I think that's awesome. Oh, by the way, I haven't shown you guys this yet. Hang on, let me get in there. There we go. Skywalk! Getting Prowl done at the weekend as well, so I'll show you that when I get done, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. I just realised I've had that done now, must be at least 6 weeks, and I haven't shown it to you. But anyway, yes, how I got this toy, I forget his name now, and that's really, really bad. But this bloke messaged me on YouTube, and he said, you know, I've got this toy, I don't know what to do with it, I reckon you'd appreciate it. I think his name was Dave. If you listen, you know who you are. If you are watching this, I do heartily apologise for forgetting your name, but I didn't save your messages because I get so many of them, I just delete them. I do heartily apologise. I actually feel quite bad about forgetting your name. Crap. But it is an absolutely fantastic toy. I love it, and I do know that in the Max Factory range there is Guyver 1, Guyver 2, and Guyver 3. This obviously is Guyver 1. I really want Guyver. Oh, I'm not so fussed about Guyver 2 because he's basically the colour of Dale piss, you know. But I really want Guyver 3 because Guyver 3 is just black and he looks demonic and he's got the 2 vibro swords. So I really want Guyver 3. But I love this toy. This toy, along with my Optimash Prime, sits on my painting station, which is right next to my PC. I absolutely adore this toy. But yes, I thought it would make a nice change. I know on eBay these are actually quite expensive. I've seen the box set for the 3 of them that's currently on eBay. 250 quid. Buy it now. Like, crying out loud. But there we go. I do want to get the other one, the Max Factory Guyver 3. So if anybody's got him, you know, doesn't want him, and you know, wants it to go to a good home, please do send it to me. I can just imagine some people sitting there going, after the way he got Fort Max, he can fuck off. But anyway, yes, an excellent toy. Absolutely love this toy. It's such a gorgeous model. But for now, this is Silverbolt signing off with the Guyver 1, saying adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.